What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and welcome on back to Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. And we are ready to head inside the All-Mother's Temple. We already got the key, and we took care of things outside of the bandit camp, so let's dip in. See if we can find this captain, or what's left of him. He's been trapped in here for too long. The quartermaster didn't paint a pretty picture of the likelihood of finding him alive in here. Then again,
we need to make a plan.
Seems quite civil so far.
Something's not right.
Don't fret. To the Dolriada, honor matters more than life itself. We gave you our word.
But do you realize that taking this temple was a terrible idea, right? It's just gonna speed up Camelot's intervention.
Taking the temple was inevitable.
Why? What do you mean? Are you trying to provoke Camelot into invading? Or are you just not like the All-Mother?
We believe in the same goddess, but we call her Mirror.
Well, that doesn't answer my question. What do you want? You don't look like you're from the tribes.
You look very noble and official.
Whoever he is, I cannot say he lacks courage. We do not usually take visitors, so he must have found a way to get here.
I'm looking for the captain of the Horns of the South. I have this pin.
Well, that seems to be a matter for the Horns of the South. I do not need to be involved. I trust you to know what should be shared, and what's best kept to yourself.
I don't know what kind of madness brought you here, flashing that pin, but my friend's right. You've got courage. So, tell me, who are you, and what do you need from me?
Are you conspiring with One Eye?
Conspiring? Don't be absurd. That's such a poor word for something so beneficial.
Oh yeah?
I don't see, however, why I need to explain myself to a stranger.
The second part of that's fair.
If you're wondering why the commander of the largest garrison in the south would want to make a deal with the most powerful military force since the Age of Legends.
I want to wield Excalibur.
Ha! Good luck with that. Only King Arthur can wield Excalibur. Every fool on Avalon knows that.
Caradoc claims you know how to do it.
Ah, Caradoc. Well, that changes things. I had a feeling that pin you're waving around was his. Fine, yes. Every new captain gets a set of secrets passed down from his predecessor. And yes, one of those secrets is how to touch Excalibur and survive. But nothing in life is free, you know that. Do something for me, and I might consider sharing our greatest secret with you.
That is usually how these things work. What do you want?
Galahad the Pure is breathing down my neck, and I hate it when someone's breathing down my neck. Even worse, One Eye's men say he's already set up camp at our old stronghold in the west.
What does Galahad want?
Well, in theory, the Horns of the South should be on an equal footing with the Round Table, but that's just theory. In reality, they treat us like we're beneath them. They demand we supply them with food and protect the South, and all we get in return are threats that Galahad will be sent to put us in our place. I met him once, you know. He's no knight. He's a butcher. Bloody windfucker will fly from Camelot to the Horns, just
Windfucker.
tearing off the garrison for whatever he himself will perceive as disobedience or treason. And I can assure you, there won't be any investigating when he arrives.
It doesn't sound like we're still in the Age of Heroes anymore. Is Galahad really that dangerous?
Don't tell me you're that naive. Do you know how he earned the title The Pure? It's because he somehow got it into his thick skull that evil is everywhere, and the best way to deal with it is to burn it all away. So he goes round setting everything on fire. Sure, it's pure after that, because there's nothing left. Well, except for the charred corpses. But nobody in Camelot seems to care about those. My arse is purer than this guy, even after I take a huge dump.
He's very eloquent, isn't he? Tell me more about Galahad the Pure.
Oh, he's got a lot on his conscience. He leaves a trail of fire and ruins everywhere he goes. He keeps preaching that fire purifies all. Galahad doesn't bother with politics, because he doesn't have to. But from what I've heard, even Camelot's getting tired of him. Sometimes you've got to talk to people. No need to chase after them with a torch.
I would agree.
Soon enough how fanatical he is. Galahad's the
Sometimes.
last thing the Horns of the South need right now.
So what do you need from me?
Galahad needs to die, obviously. That'll solve most
No
of
small
our
task then.
problems. We'll just say he had an unfortunate accident, you know, fell on a pitchfork or something, and sweep it under the rug.
And you all can't take care of that, why?
Continue our talks with the tribes, and by the time anyone from Camelot decides to act, it'll be too late.
You want me to kill a knight of the Round Table?
What's wrong with that? It's him or us. If we let him snoop around here any longer, he's going to uncover our plan to protect the South. And if that happens, trust me, you'll be going down with me.
Does Galahad really have to die for there to be peace?
I don't see any way out of this that doesn't end in open war between Camelot and the tribes. Not to mention, half of my men will probably end up burned at the stake for treason or some other drummed up charges. And I can't openly risk a coup. That would only make matters even more complicated. So, as you can see, you're the only one who can do this. The choice is yours.
Aren't you allied with the Knights of the Round Table?
Well, in theory, the Horns of the South should be on an equal footing with the Round Table, but that's in reality. They've been trying to suppress us. And the fact they're funding most of our operations, like building the new lighthouse, for instance, doesn't exactly help things.
So I get rid of Galahad and you'll tell me about Excalibur?
Yes, it's that simple.
Oh boy. Well, from what I know about Galahad, he's a real piece of shit. Just hanging people from the walls on whims, going around burning villages down and all that stuff. He doesn't sound like the kind of guy that I'd defend here. If that's all true. So I see no reason not to agree on face value.
Just flash that pin to his guards. They'll let you in without a problem. And now, excuse me, I have things to do before the matter is settled.
Okay then. Maybe Galahad will have something to say for himself that can change our mind a little. I didn't think we'd be diving into the whole Camelot Round Table stuff this early. I'm kind of surprised we don't have any conversations to be had with Arthur about that. I mean, I'll check at a bonfire before we head out to see if he does have any commentary. He doesn't. Interesting. The Round Table is technically his doing, right? I'm pretty sure he set it up. He's been dead a long time, so it won't be the same people, but the office itself is still set up by him. You think he'd have some kind of investment, though? Well, we've already been to this fort. I already cleared a lot of this out, actually. Oh, you weren't here the last time.
Stop right there. Who are you? And what do you want here?
I heard you could find Galahad the Pure here.
It's Sir Galahad to you, vagrant. But it's true, this is our camp.
You're
We're his
pompous, aren't
personal
you?
guard. But you won't be meeting the knight until you tell us why you're here.
You see this pin? I don't have to tell you anything. Take me to Galahad.
It's true that this pin obliges me to take you to the knight. But did you actually earn it? Or did you just pluck it from a corpse?
You're not the first person to tell me
That's for
that.
Galahad to decide.
Quartermaster had the same opinion.
But bear in mind that Galahad is not a patient man. I only hope your cause is worth his time. Otherwise, we'll be carrying you out in a sack. The door is open. You'll find Galahad inside.
Another reason why I won't be
Try not to
too
make him
bent out of shape about killing Galahad if that's what this comes to. His knights might be a problem, however. Knights kind of look more like bandits than anything else. You can see what kind of a man Galahad is. Makes quite the impression, doesn't it? The entrance to his keep. Go down the way here in this dingy ass cave.
I can hear you. Who goes there?
I was told this pin would allow me to ask for help from any Camelot representative.
It's shiny, sure, but you clearly have no idea what you're doing. Waving a round table pin in front of a knight of the round table? Not the smartest move. Normally, I'd throw you out for your arrogance and stupidity. But you're lucky. I've got a soft spot for boldness. And that pin has me curious. Where'd you get it?
I got it from Caradoc.
You mean you found Caradoc's tomb and robbed it?
That's not what happened, no. He handed it to me personally.
Interesting. And when exactly did this happen? When did you last see him?
He helped me escape the island asylum.
I see. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. So what do you want then?
Whose funeral is this?
The one on the left was questioning my orders. For some reason, he thought his opinions were more important than obedience in the middle of a war. They aren't. The one on the right decided Camelot wasn't paying enough, so he thought that was a good enough excuse to help himself to his comrades' pockets. It wasn't.
I wanted to ask you some questions.
Ask them.
A night in the south is a rare sight. What brings you here?
We're going to fight the Dalrita. We're driving that rabble out of the All-Mother's temple. And when we head home, we'll put their heads on pikes at the gates of the Forlorn Swords. That way the rest of those barbarians will know Camelot is still watching over them, even if we have to protect them from themselves.
What do you mean?
Oh, so you don't know? One-Eye's a traitor. He's fooled the younger tribesmen with grand promises of uniting the tribes and marching north. The Council of Elders is still loyal to us. They want no part in a war. He's just a bandit, abandoned by his own people. When his village fell, no one came to help. And One-Eye, like the rat he is, ran. I'm just here to finish what I started. And when the Elders see us take down One-Eye, we won't need to worry about those savages for another 600 years.
I thought the war hadn't started yet.
The war's already here. It's been going on for a while. We're fighting each other in the west, and people are whispering about rebellion in the north. The last thing we need is united tribes.
Why do you hate the Dalriada so much? Didn't they fight for Camelot?
At the beginning, yes. But they're primitive. They don't respect order. They never will. Arthur gave them the Forlorn Swords, a rich land where they could govern themselves. They were supposed to watch the giants deliver iron and chase after their cousins through the tunnels, or whatever it is that tickles their fancy. But no, that wasn't enough for them. I've always thought Avalon would be better without them. Arthur probably gathered them all in one place, hoping they'd kill each other. But that didn't work, so we'll have to do this the hard way.
Isn't the Wyrdness a bigger threat than the Dalriada?
That's exactly why we need Camelot and the Horns of the South to be strong and united. You do know that the lighthouse of the Horns of the South works like a giant menhir, right? It's why we've ordered them to build another one to strengthen its power. As for how the Dalrita feel about the Wyrdness, I don't care. I'm here to protect our people, and those tribes are in the way.
That's actually surprisingly a compelling point. I'm gonna have to make a decision at the end of this conversation on where I'm gonna go. You're heading to the Horns of the South? What for?
That was the plan. It's my job to keep those lazy fish eaters in check. Camelotian gold flows to them, and I need to make sure they're doing something with it. But the Dalrita showing up. That made things more interesting. Their presence will bring down the South, and I don't let things fall apart on my watch.
I expected you to be different.
I know what people say about me. They think I'm a madman who burns everything, a butcher who hangs the innocent. I've heard it all. But I believe that only decisive action gets results. There's no room for mercy when it comes to insubordination, deserters, or heretics. It's the only way to prevent the fall of Avalon.
Title name drop. So now we have a decision to make. This guy doesn't seem... Well, my character just said it too. Not the way I expected him to be. And if I have to make a decision here for the future of Avalon, I'm going to have to choose between mountain men that are at war with each other or the Knights of the Round Table to defend this place. I can either kill this man, and then this entire southern region of the island is going to be under control of the Keepers and the mountain clans. Or I can snitch on the captain, and I assume get sent back to the bandit place and wipe them all out. And then this place will be under control of Camelot. So I have to choose between Camelot or the mountain people, basically. The barbarians or everybody else. The Dalriada haven't had much of a glowing review from the people of this world, but then again, neither has Galahad. But what he was saying about decisive action being necessary to defend Avalon, he's kind of right about that. I mean, this world is in a bad place. This is not like the real world where everything's hunky-dory and people like this just have no place in it. Every time, if you are trying to be the king of a shit show, you kind of have to be a shit show yourself, right? You kind of have to be lawful evil. Because if you're not, if you're neutral or good, people are going to take advantage. If he didn't come down here, I mean, the situation itself is kind of a good example of that, right? If he didn't come down here to do this, then he would have a captain of the Keepers directly fronting a rebellion, who's planning on killing him, by the way. And look at all the bandits and everybody else all over this place. Clearly, the Dalriada aren't in much of a situation where they can try and clean this up. I mean, the only person even trying to take care of those bandits, in fact, is the Camelot representative that was paying us to do it. The Keepers just curled up in the keep and didn't let anybody leave. This place does kind of need to be shaken up a little. I mean, the captain said that if this guy goes to the keep, then he's just going to hang everybody for treason. But we don't know that for a fact. That's his opinion. And his opinion is clearly shaded by the outcome he desires here, which is this guy being dead. I expected to come here and kill his ass without many qualms, actually, but I don't think that's what I'm gonna do. This is a dark world, and sometimes you need dark people to do dark things in order to keep whatever light is left. Now, the ends don't always justify the means, but he categorically rejected the claim that he just hangs people for no reason. He knows all the rumors about him, he just doesn't care. Well, we did save before we came here with a decision, so... The captain of the Horns of the South asked me to kill you. He allied himself with One Eye.
Ah, denunciation, like loyalty, can be valuable. The key is knowing who deserves loyalty and who needs to be reported. I appreciate you telling me, but unfortunately, you haven't told me anything I didn't already suspect.
But I don't want to kill you.
Well, that's fortunate, because between the two of us, I'd be the one walking away. Instead, I've got an offer you can't refuse.
And what happens if I do refuse?
You'll miss out on all the fun, and I'd be grateful for your help. Trust me, having Galahad the Pure on your side is worth it.
Tell me your plan.
We're going to fight the Dalrita. We're driving that rabble out of the All-Mother's temple. And when we head home, we'll put their heads on pikes at the gates of the Forlorn Swords. That way the rest of those barbarians will know Camelot is still watching over them, even if we have to protect them from themselves.
This part I don't like. What do you mean?
Oh, so you don't know? One Eye's a traitor. He's fooled the younger tribesmen with grand promises of uniting the tribes and marching north. The Council of Elders is still loyal to us. They want no part in a war. He's just a bandit, abandoned by his own people. When his village fell, no one came to help, And One Eye, like the rat he is, ran. I'm just here to finish what I started. And when the elders see us take down One Eye, we won't need to worry about those savages for another 600 years. Interesting, no doubt, but I don't have time for them right now. Are you coming, or have you changed your mind?
Damn. The final check. I don't like the head on spikes. As an example, that's some King Joffrey shit. You almost had me convinced, and now you made me feel even more uncertain. Alright, so let's break this down. So Brendan and One Eye are both traitors, right? Brendan has turned his back on Camelot, and he's also turned his back on the Keepers and left them in the fort just under somebody else's reign. He just doesn't care about any of his own people. He stabbed them all in the back, and now he's trying to usurp whatever kind of Camelot authority is left over here, and to do that, he's basically just abandoned the Horns of the South to whatever its fate is. Conversely, when we came in here, Galahad was burning a man to death just for somebody questioning his methods, and he's also willing to spike everybody's head up on a platter and drive it all to the ground. He also said he could beat us in a fight, which is a -1 reputation as far as I'm concerned. That being said, he's also here to bolster the Horns of the South and build a new lighthouse to fight back the Wyrdness. I don't know if the barbarians are capable of doing that. So this is like practicality versus morality. This guy's also not insane. I don't think this guy is insane. I think he's just... You know how I talk sometimes about how ends justifying the means and all that stuff, and how I don't believe it does? This is one of those guys that he has his goal, which is Camelot support and Camelot strength, and whatever it takes for him to get that, he'll do. But I disagree with the methods he's employing here pretty strongly. And if he hadn't have said that when he killed them, they're gonna put all their heads on spikes, I would probably have sided with him and let him live here. But he's kind of convinced me to kill him in the last part of that conversation. I was ready to help Galahad a moment ago, and now I'm ready to chop his head off, so I think you deserve to die after all. Oh boy. A little beefy. Okay, very beefy. Okay. He's very beefy, isn't he? Delayed moveset is killing me. You know what? Just realized that I wasn't even using my my superpower here. Alright, healing, buddy. You in fact did not win. Royal Butcher set, huh? His men are chunky too. Let's not die after the Galahad fight.
Such a cheap shot. I see fear in your eyes.
Come on, swing.
Your armor won't save you.
Well, I think that is the lesser of two evils, although it wasn't really as simple as all that. Like I said, I was right there on helping him, actually. I was right there. And then the last moment, he fucked it up. I'm very curious what the alternative to that is. I'm gonna be playing this game multiple times to see different things, though. I guess this is... That's what befalls people that he's upset at. You can certainly see where the insanity charges come from. I can't bonfire down here. Bro. Now let's head outside and clean up the rest of his men. Man, that was the first real tough choice I've dealt with in this game. I hope they keep giving me those. That was fun to think about. That was fun to process that decision. That's a rock and a hard place. You have somebody who's just cold and callous and is willing to slaughter anyone and everybody. Not on a whim, but for reasons that are dubious by my estimation. Or you have, on the other side of that coin, you have two traitors
I'll get you back.
that I also don't trust. Oh my god. Let's back that ass up a little.
You are nothing but a... Show me what you are made of.
Back to your hovel, coward!
Tis but a scratch. I will be your
Is that a Monty Python reference? Tis but a scratch.
Be your downfall.
Show me what you are made of.
Get this guy out first.
I will be your downfall.
I will be your downfall.
We got this one guy back here.
Your armor won't save you. Back to your hole.
Maybe this guy is the reason why I was taking so much damage in the middle of that.
You'll fall to my...
Jesus. That got tough. I'm glad I cooked meals before I came down here, I can tell you that much. Yeah, I'm gonna need more of all that. I don't think I even have the stuff to make health potions. It's the sage. It's the sage that's getting us. I'll keep an eye out when I'm around. Try and see if I can find somebody that sells sage, and I'll just bulk buy it so we can craft. Guess these are his apprentices, because not everybody here was wearing that. Alright, Arthur. How are you feeling about the fact that I just killed the Knight of the Round Table? What was Galahad like in your day?
Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce.
Well, he did. Not anymore. So now I assume we go tell them the good news, and he's gonna tell us how to yoink Excalibur out. And I guess we're gonna have to live with the consequences of that, and we'll see how it turns out. We'll see what they end up doing here, because they're gonna be in charge of the horns now. And even the Elder Council might just get into open rebellion with Camelot based on our actions that we just took. Definitely gonna paint an interesting picture. I guess in the long run, we'll see if we made the right call, though. Maybe on an alternate playthrough I'll side with Galahad.
Oh, look who's here. Has the destiny of the South graced my humble abode?
Galahad is dead.
That's wonderful news. You have no idea what a favor you've done for the South. Now we'll finally be independent and safe.
Independence comes at a cost, my friend. You're not going to have Camelot's money anymore to build the lighthouse and the rest of it. Why did Galahad have to die?
Because sometimes the best defense is a good offense. We were backed into a corner, eh? It were us or him. First off, he represented Camelot, and we're done with their influence, no more of their wars. Second, after the massacre of One Eye's tribe, his death was convenient for both of us. And when the tribes finally unite and come down from the mountains, there's a chance they might leave us alone. Third, he figured me out. He knew what I'd discovered, and he wanted to stop me. And trust me, what I found is going to change the South's history.
What did you find?
Proof that Camelot is rotten to the core, and that allying with the tribes is the right choice. I didn't plan to tell you, but my one-eyed friend convinced me. Since you took down Galahad, you deserve to know. As a reward for your help, I'll share this secret with you.
I'm listening.
Here, take this seal. In the sunken village, you'll find the entrance to Sewell's crypt. Everyone knows the story of how the evil druid sealed and flooded the place. It's true. At least part of it. But the real story is why they sealed and flooded it. One Eye broke the old seals and replaced them with his own. If you want to see what Camelot was so desperate to hide, you'll find your answers there. They thought drowning a village would keep it secret.
What more do I need to know?
Behind the statue, you'll find where to use the seal. Once you do, you'll see that history is very different from what we've been telling ourselves. If that doesn't convince you that Camelot's foundations are more crap-coloured than tinged with ivory, then nothing will. I won't tell you anything more. I'd hate to spoil the surprise.
Alright, I'll go check the tomb.
I'll catch up with you later, and we'll talk. I'm sure you'll understand exactly what I mean.
Well, he did still owe me. There's one-eyed sigil. Royal Butchers. Requires 5 strength. Let's take a look at the rest of Galahad's stuff. That's... oh, there's no side benefits to this. His mace has some. Inflicts 50 burn on hit. He needs spirituality for it. I mean, it's a cool looking weapon. I'll give him that. Alright, so... instead of him just straight up giving us what we came here for, he wants us to go on an errand run. We've been going a little too long for that, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to head back to the keep. I'm going to sell some things up, and I guess we'll wrap the episode here. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, please do check out the links in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.